I'm Brenda Ringwood. I am the host for Becoming the Best You TV talk show. Go on over to ComeChangeYourLife.com and check out what's waiting for you. We have miraculous things happening over here. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things, giving you hope that you can do it too. What challenges are you facing in your life? What do you need to change to have and make a better life? BTB Wyatt's here for you. ComeChangeYourLife.com.
Conferences of the Year is finally here, Becoming the Best You Conference. Join us live or virtually and hear from the greatest speakers in the country. Brenda Ringwood, Terrence Lethbridge, Stacey Wahey, Arcavius Armstrong, Dr. Lotus Richey, Regina Platt, Dr. Rick Fulton, Anthony Russo, Chuck Doyle, Dr. Ruben West, Jennifer Lauren, Jessica Mortier, Dr. Jawanda Rollins-Fells, Dr. Lauren Michaels Harris, Indy Nam, Tracy Randolph, Isabel Black, Sarah Minguez, Jill Reynolds, Kevin Wilson, Saccone Prince, Definitely Holly, Chuck Prison, Dr. Michael Freeland, Tommy Morgan, Prince Michael, James Griffin, Charlotte White, Aaron Page, Jeremy Nunez, Jeff Markinet Jr., Velton Showell III. Becoming the Best You Conference, February 17th through the 19th, 2023. Clayton Plaza Hotel, St. Louis, Missouri. Get your tickets today.
People. Caroline was smart. She was so smart that she was able to skip from being a junior in high school to being a senior instead. Being smart didn't always attract the type of attention that she desired though. Caroline wasn't the most desired person to look at, but once you got past her appearance, there lied a diamond in the rough. Her soul was pure service to all mankind. This meant she was very vulnerable to being taken advantage of. Sarah, on the other hand, Sarah was pretty. Wasn't the brightest crown in the box though, but she was smart enough to understand how to use Caroline's talents to advance her own agenda. Caroline gained a little popularity while Sarah started receiving better grades. Things worked out fine for both of them until Sarah passed all her tests. Face it, people, we all use each other in some way, fashion, or form. Whether it be for someone's attention, influence, or materialistic reasons, we are all seeking to use someone else for something. Question is this: are you taking advantage of the opportunity or the person? Listen up, people. Stay away from those people that only subtract from you and never add any value to your life. These types will hang around you until you have nothing else to give. And when that happens, they're gone in the wind. Learn to shake free from these types before you find yourself hanging by yourself. Welcome back to another episode of the First Cup KC. On today's episode, I'd like to spotlight Brenda Ringwood, aka Bren. She is not only a professional speaker, she's also a trainer, coach, teacher, and a very, 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 very good friend of mine. Welcome, Brenda Ringwood.
Hello, my name is Brenda Ringwood, and yes, as Chuck said, I go by Bren. Didn't used to. Actually, I did. When I was a kid, I went by Bren. It was what my parents called me because my mom's name is Brenda. And I hated the nickname, but now I love it, and I'll get to that a little bit later. But you see, when I was in high school, I was the 110 pounds, had all the right assets, had the blonde hair, I was smart, I was athletic. But you see, I didn't see myself as that. I didn't see myself as this person that everybody else saw. I didn't see myself as this go-getter. Now, everybody else will tell you I was, but I wasn't. I was very insecure. I had a lot of doubt. And I didn't believe in myself. And that led me to pick the wrong friends. It led me to drink alcohol at the age of 13. In fact, I stayed drunk probably from the age of 13 to the age of 17 years old. Not a good scenario. But I had a great childhood. See, most people say when you have these issues, you don't have a good childhood. I had great parents. I had nice things. I had nice homes, went to great schools, and I had love. But then teenage years happen, and friends have the influence, and I started hanging around the wrong crowds. Grades started going down, but I was that social butterfly. I was at the parties, and I was doing the things that I thought I needed to do. But then I got married. I got married at the age of 19, started having babies, and life settled down. Started growing a company, started working, started living life, right? You got babies, you're married, you got all these things. But see, I still wasn't living my life the way that I should. I was living it for other people. I was living a life for other people because I was trying to make them happy. I was doing what I thought they wanted me to be. I was being the daughter, the mother, the wife, the cousin, the aunt, the niece, the grandmother. Yes, the grandmother, because I continued that on to my later years in life. I was living my life for everybody else. I was making a ton of money. Man, I had assets. My company was great. Hundreds of employees, real estate offices, real estate agents under me, maintenance companies, janitorial companies, real estate companies, all kinds of businesses, all under one umbrella. I had assets. I had real estate. I had the cars. I had the houses. But I was miserable and I was not happy. I was not happy. Did you hear me? Because see, when you're not happy, now you are not going to be successful at what you're really wanting to do in life. What I really wanted to do was to help other people. What I really wanted to do was what I'm doing right now. But I couldn't because how could I let people down? How could I stop doing what I was doing to do what I wanted to do? What would happen to those 300 employees if I just quit doing that and started doing what I wanted to do? So living a life for other people makes you miserable. And when you're miserable, now you're unhappy. And when you're unhappy, you make bad decisions. You get backed into a corner. And that's what happened to me. You see, illness set in, the wrong friendships set in, things set in that I normally wouldn't let happen in my life. And it landed me in prison. It landed me in a federal holding facility for 4 years. Now, let me tell you this. I was a believer at a young age. I knew that God existed, and I knew that Jesus was the life changer. And I knew that's what I needed to do, and I knew that I needed to live my life the way that He wanted me to live. The problem is I wasn't listening because, see, I was living my life for everybody else. I was doing what I thought the world wanted of me instead of what God wanted. And I made very poor decisions, and it landed me in prison, in a federal holding facility, which is a maximum security facility. Maximum security. I couldn't go outside. I couldn't do anything without anybody walking me somewhere. I had to have a ride, as they called it. I sat there for a good year, and my heart got hard. I was mad. I was angry. And, you know, the reality is I was blaming everybody else, but it was my own fault. It was my own actions that put me there. It was my own thoughts. It was my own actions. It was my own people that I surrounded myself around. And I finally said, enough. You need to change. You need to change. You have experience. You have credibility because you know what you're doing. You have education. You have a BS in biology. You're not dumb. You have people that still believe in you. And most importantly, you have a family that loves you. And if you don't have a family that loves you, where's that support going to come from, right? So you go find it in people that probably you shouldn't be. And that's kind of what I thought I was doing. And I had them right in front of me my entire life. But I was looking at what the world wanted and what the world was expecting of me. I didn't need the houses and the cars and the commercial buildings and the real estate companies and the commercial janitorial contracts and everything that went with that. I didn't need any of that because I had the love of my family and the support of my family. And if I would have just went to them and said, look, I'm not happy, I want to do something else, they would have supported me. And come to find out, my husband hated our job anyways. When we first got married, he looked at me and he said, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know, I'm going to try to stay home with kids. Okay. Did that for about 2 years. It wasn't who I was. I said, I want to start a cleaning company. He said, okay. I had that support. And then as time went on, things started to change and we started getting successful. Years go by and he says, stop. And I said, what do you mean, stop? He said, stop trying to make other people happy. What do you mean? You need to live your life for me and for your family. You need to stop trying to please your dad. You need to stop trying to please your clients. You need to stop trying to please your friends. And you need to live your life with us. He was right. He was absolutely right. But I still didn't see the support. So I made bad decisions. I ended up in prison. I was supposed to do 78 months. That's 6.5 years. And I walked out in 44. I walked out early. Why and how? Let me tell you how. You see, about a year of letting my heart get hard and blaming everybody else. And, it was not my fault that I was in there. I had to take responsibility for my own actions. And I had to truly change. And it took a good year for me to do that. I would look at myself in the mirror and I hated myself. I hated who I had become. Then one day I woke up. I started to open my Bible. I opened the Word of God and I applied it to my life. And once I did that, when I looked in the mirror, I said, I love you. I love who you are right now. So in year 2 of being in prison, I was content. I was happy. And I was helping others with their case. I was sharing the Word of God. And I was content. Year 4 comes around and I'm getting out. Why? Because there was a hiccup in my case. See, God knew that I had changed and I was ready for change. So I dubbed myself the professor of change because I'm going to help you change. I help other people change if they want it. So here's the thing. I applied God to my life. I applied His Word to my life. I applied His will to my life. And now I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I created a movement called Becoming the Best Version of Yourself. And I created it because when I got out, I hated the way people were looking at me. I hated the way people were talking to me, whispering behind my back. And I said, look, I'm not that person anymore. I don't live there. I've moved and I'm never going back. So let me show you what I can do. See, I can tell you I've changed and I can talk about change, but you have to live the change and you have to show the change. And when you show the change, now people are going to watch. So the professor of change stepped in to change her own life. And now she's helping others to change their life. I want to help you change your life. So I created Becoming the Best You, which is a whole movement about overcoming challenges. Because if you want to change, you can. But sometimes you just need a little bit of a help, a little bit of a push. And when you get that and you have a cheerleader, when you have a support system, you too can make things happen. See, I used to chase the money. I chase the relationship now. Not only do I chase the relationship, I value that relationship and the assets that person has. And I want to show you how you can become your best asset, because you already are. You just have to realize it for yourself. You have to find your purpose and you have to live within that purpose. What if you could have a job doing what you love that could support you? What better gift is that? That is what the real American dream is. It's not the house with the picket fence. It is doing what you love. So Becoming the Best You is a national brand. We have conferences all over the country, virtual, in person, and it is a life-changing conference about you. We want to see you put the changes in place. So when you walk out that door 3 days later, you have the tools and the assets to change your life. But it doesn't stop there. It's a movement. We have continuing education to help you along the way. We have coaching. We have lots of free events. We have masterminds. We have virtual events. We have classes. We teach you how to speak if you want to. We teach you the business of speaking, because see, you don't have to be a professional speaker. But speaking is communication. And if you know how to communicate well, now you can live your life well, because that's the key to success right there. Living a happy life and being able to communicate your way through it. So what do we do now? That's what we do. We teach you. We teach you how to do that. Go on over to comechangeyourlife.com. Check it out. We have a conference coming up here in February 17th through the 19th. It's in St. Louis, Missouri. 3 full days. Man, there's like 35 speakers. These guys are going to show you how to live the life that you want. Stories of triumph. We have people that have went from homeless to homeowner, from prison to success. All over the place, we have people with story after story of challenge. You are going to resonate with somebody there. But see, we took it a step further. I, being a felon, have had issues with people not believing that my story is true. So the only thing that I can do is continue to show that my actions will prove who I am. Not what I'm saying, but my actions. And it takes years to change. It's not an overnight thing. So we started From Felon to Fabulous. It is a show about people who have been incarcerated, who have changed their life, that are living a life of happiness. They are pursuing their dreams, and they're not letting their fact that they were a felon stop them. You see, they're stereotyped, and we are set up for failure. And we want to show people that you don't have to accept that you can move forward through any challenge, be it becoming the best version of yourself, or if you want to take your life from being a felon to fabulous. You know, Chuck, when he first got on, he mentioned that I go by Bren. And I used to be Bren with my family. And then I was Brenda Ring, was my legal name. I got married and became Brenda Wood. I was always Bren to my family. But I hated that name. My mother's name is also Brenda. So they called me Bren, so we had the distinction. But then as I grew up, I realized what an awesome mom I had, what a value she was to my life, the love that she had for me. And it was an honor to be named after her. It was an absolute honor. So I embrace that name now, and I go by Bren. My speaking name is Brenda Ring Wood. And I do that because there's actually another Brenda Wood out there. So I had to differentiate because there's only one me. There's only one me. But I want to tell you something. The real reason behind this success, the real reason behind this movement is my family. You see, I had everything. I already had it, but I was working on things. I was working on trying to get the house, trying to buy the cars, have the commercial assets, the businesses, everything else that the world wanted from me, that I didn't realize I had everything I ever needed right in front of me the entire time. And when you experience that kind of love, see, I had it more than just with my family. I had it from Christ, but I didn't accept it. See, loving is one thing, but being able to receive love and accept love, now that is a gift. And once you do that, I'm telling you, your life will change. It took me losing everything I had to realize that I already had it all. So Reuben West talks about being a 0 or a 1. Dr. Reuben West, he's one of our speakers. He's my mentor. He gave me a chance when nobody else would. He saw Brenda Ring Wood when I didn't see myself. He said, 0s and 1s. Are you a 0 or are you a 1? 0 times anything times a million, still 0. 1 times a million, still a 1. You don't better yourself. So you want to be a 2 or above. You're duplicating, you are reaching, and you are evolving, and you're becoming better. But let me ask you this. Are you the 0 or 1? And Reuben had to put it to me that way, because sometimes we are our own downfall. We are the 0 and 1 in our own life and in our family's life. So don't be that person that's going to stop your children from being who they want to be. Don't be that person that says they have to be that doctor because that's what you want them to be. Let them be who they want. Let them live a happy life. If you could live a life doing something that you want and have an income doing it that supports your family, that's the American dream. So where is this movement going? See, it's more than a movement. It is action. This movement is going to be going places. Not only is becoming the best you going places, From Felon to Fabulous is going places. Because anytime you're doing what you want to do in life, it's going to be successful if you do it right. We are putting the foundation in place. We are building it brick by brick with the right relationships, with the right people, and we are bringing it to you. And see, when you do that, you have a following and you have loyal people that help you along the way. That doesn't cost money. That's what we're trying to do. We plan to see this in every household because everybody deserves to be the best version of themselves. You deserve it, but let me tell you, your family deserves for you to be the best version of yourself. You owe it to them. They love you, they stand beside you, so you need to be that best person. And when you are trying to change, so you're never going to get there. You are changing every day to become better. And when you strive and you are aware of that change, then you are moving forward. And then you have long-lasting relationships, long-lasting success. So, I think back about my career, And I was always so busy. And my daughter tells me this all the time. She says, Mom, you were always on the phone, or you were this or you were that. Even though I was present, I wasn't present. I was physically there, but I wasn't present. So now I want to instill people to enjoy the life as they go and to be present when they are doing it and enjoy it. Don't just try to get through the day. So where are we going with this? We're coming to your living room. We're coming to help you. We're coming to help whoever else. You see, I always wanted to write a book. I was too busy. Landed 4 years in prison. That gave me time to write a book. Not only did I write one, I wrote 3. Actually 4, 3 of which are published right now. You can go on over to thingsbybren.com to find out a little bit more about my personal life. You can find out more about my books, my artwork. I learned to draw. I do that for a blessing for others. It's not something I actually do for a living. And I created my story. And I tell my story. Because if my story can help somebody else, then I'm going to tell it. All the embarrassing parts about it, all the negativity, everything that I did. Because you see, it was still my choice. It was still my decision to do things. Just like it's my choice now to change. It's my choice now to move forward. We have comechangeyourlife.com. We have fromfelontofabulous.com. We have thingsbybren.com. And we have a speaking class at btbspeaker.com. All of these things are here for you to grow who you are. So you know who you are. So you can identify where you want to be and what it is you really want in life. We are going to help you see the assets within you. As Les Brown says, you have greatness within you. We want to help you see that. Not only do we want to help you see that, we want to help you act on it. We want you to move into your greatness and have the life that you want. So I want to be there with you to help you reach the next phase of your life. My name is Brenda Ringwood. I would love to see you at our events. Reach out to me. I want to see you grow. I want to see you be happy. I want to see you change.
Thank you, Brenda Ringwood, for being a guest on another episode of the First Cup KC. I'm your host, Coffee Cup Chuck. Thank you guys for your continued support. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And as always, stay positive, people.
One of the best conferences of the year is finally here, becoming the Best You Conference. Join us live or virtually and hear from the greatest speakers in the country. Brenda Ringwood, Terrence Leffridge, Stacey Wahey, Arcavius Armstrong, Dr. Lotus Richey, Regina Platt, Dr. Rick Fulton, Anthony Russo, Chuck Doyle, Dr. Ruben West, Jennifer Lauren, Jessica Mortier, Dr. Jawanda Robbins-Fells, Dr. Lauren Michaels Harris, Indy Nam, Tracy Randolph, Isabel Black, Sarah Minguez, Jill Reynolds, Kevin Wilson, Saccone Prince, Definitely Holly, Chuck Prison, Dr. Michael Freeland, Tommy Morgan, Prince Michael, James Griffin, Charlotte White, Aaron Page, Jeremy Nunez, Jeff Markinet Jr., Velton Showell III. Becoming the Best You Conference, February 17th through the 19th, 2023. Clayton Plaza Hotel, St. Louis, Missouri. Get your tickets today